Oh, look, let me stop you a moment. It's easy to love that which is perfect. Can I say, disrespectfully, any fool can do that. But love is infectious, contagious, as a fire that burns all before it. And we love that which is not perfect, that which is bruised and damaged, that which has been hurt, calls out to us. And we respond in love and kindness, because our God has given us compassion, and we are in tears for your sake, for we love you, not because you're perfect, not even because you will be perfect or are perfect in eternity, but because of your need. Quite simply, your need is our need. And we cry out to God on your behalf, especially when we don't know how to rescue you. And we trust that God does know how, and does rescue you, and is rescuing you, because he loves you. For all is of his creation, and that certainly includes you. And he loves you. You are my son, my daughter, my child. I am your dad. That was the Jesus story message. That was what John's Gospel was about. And if you don't know that, well, you don't know the Jesus story. And perhaps your religion might even be called Christianity, has blocked you from knowing that. We need to go back to it. Read John 17, ostensibly a man who's about to be crucified, praying for you, doesn't mention crucifixion, knows it's coming, it's imminent. The prayer is the penultimate chapter to the crucifixion. It's designed to speak to you. The religion isn't. The religion's designed to bring your conformity. It's written by the state to the state's purpose, which is not necessarily very godly at all. But the story is written for the children of God, to be read at bedtime. And like all fairy stories, it's got the most horrific ending. Well, almost ending. Gets crucified, for goodness sake. This is not a good outcome. This is not what you want for the hero. But of course, we put it all right before you go to sleep. He gets resurrected, and he's in heaven. He is indeed. He's in the heaven of the hearer's mind before they go to sleep. the loveliness of the story, of loving kindness, of miracles, of healing, of a true person, of a man apart, a lovely man. And of course, to the Western person, I completely forget he was Jewish. Wandering Arab, really. No, he was blue-eyed and fair-haired. Amazing. Wonder why he looked Nordic. It's a story, for goodness sake. Lighten up. It's a story. It's for the kids. It's that they may grow up good. That they may have a wonderful life before them. An eternal life. It's the best of stories that we've managed. We've had some good stories down the ages. Some good, magnificent legends of heroes and heroines. The heroes are always male. No, Joan of Arc wasn't, was she? Historicities are stories, you understand. They're stories written around something that may have been historical at one point in time, but possibly wasn't. There are no history books, I'm afraid. They're all historicities. Actually, I'm not afraid, because historicities are better than the, people say, oh, it was one going from New Zealand that has no history written down, you see, because the Europeans only came about, 100, 200 years ago, and previous people had no written records, no stone even really that they wrote on much, and no written language. So there's no history, and they go to Europe and they go to something like England and say, oh, it's full of history. I say, yeah, it's all bad though, isn't it? Terrible stuff. Our historicity is much better. Yeah. Do you know the Black Death in 1348 killed a third of the population? Decimate was just taking a tenth. Whole villages moved because of the plague. The nobility fled from the cities into the isolation of the country to try and avoid the plague. Feudal life presents actually as a nightmare. Where was I? Hang on a minute. Oh, well, I don't know. Green. The green of our countryside, what we consider to be lush countryside, blessed. Especially our fields, new crops and trees in springtime and so on. Green, a lovely fresh green. Compassion is green. God, quite simply, loves all his creation. That's why he made it. And no matter what you might think of it, the ancient Hebrew story says he looked upon all that he'd made at the end of 6 days. And it was good. And if God says it's good, who are we to argue? He's filled us with compassion by his grace and loving kindness. The Jesus story is about that, in large measure. The religion isn't. in large measure. We are not religious. We choose to love God because we are filled with gratitude. When we look upon all that is good and lovely and think on these things, quite simply we find that we are in love. Thank you, Dad.